What up? It's your girl DJ Reese, and I have my friend and mental health advocate with me right now, Miss Jelisa Payton. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm doing awesome too. How was your day?
It was a day. I actually worked with second graders today, so it's never a dull moment working with elementary school students.
Yeah, so. Kids are something else, man. Have you ever seen like Little Big Shots?
No.
It's with Steve Harvey. He like interviews all these little kids who are like super talented. It's funny, and they say some stuff on there. It's hilarious. All good stuff.
Okay.
It's PG. It's PG. All right. It's not even PG-13. It's straight PG. They're funny. I just figured you saw it.
No, never.
Oh man, you gotta check it out.
I don't watch a lot of TV either.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, it was on Hulu and maybe Netflix, but I know it was on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do watch Netflix there, and then I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, you do. All right, so let's jump right into the interview. Tell everyone where you're from and where you're currently residing.
I am from New Church, Virginia.
Hey.
Yes. I have lived in Salisbury for a while now.
Okay.
This is where I currently reside at.
All right, what's there to do in Salisbury?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, right. Y'all got a college right up the street. You got a zoo somewhere. Like,
yeah, but once you've lived here for so long, it's just like, it gets boring. You go to the same places over and over and over again. I mean, the mall used to be the hangout spot, but now
used to be.
All the stores in the mall is closing. So it's
my God.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Now to really have fun, you got to go across the bridge.
Man. All right. Well, y'all, when you come to Salisbury, make sure you go across the bridge because this isn't it. So what is your current occupation?
I am currently a substitute teacher for Wycomico County.
Okay. And like you said, you love hanging out with the second graders?
Yes. Elementary is my preference. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. As you also mentioned to me previously offline, you know a great deal about mental health. But before we jump into that, let's talk about what sparked your interest. Before you decided to go to college, did you take mental health seriously?
Before I decided to go to college, I did, but not as serious as I do now since I've learned so much about it in college. What sparked my interest is after I graduated high school in 2010, I actually was diagnosed with depression, and that was actually after one of my best friends died.
Okay.
So I just noticed that I was going down here. I'd gain weight. I was basically like eating and sleeping, and I just knew I was having crying spells. I just knew it was something was going on.
Okay. And did you go seek help, or did you when did you find out that
I did seek help. I actually started seeing a therapist. I want to say not right after, maybe it was a year after. Something was just I need to go see a therapist. So I went to a local facility and I started seeing a therapist there. And ever since then, I've been seeing a therapist and I love it. I'm a lot better. I don't, I'm not depressed like I was. I do have anxiety here and there, but I'm able to manage it better because I know about it.
Right.
I know what triggers it.
Right.
And so, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Now, was there a time maybe in your teen years or maybe your childhood that you think back and you say maybe you should have went to a guidance counselor or somebody outside of your church and your friends and your family?
So, yes. But at the same time, when I first moved up here, I was really, really young. I was in the 4th grade, and the transition was a lot for me because I lived with my grandmother. My grandmother raised me. So I had moved up here with my mom, and my mom was a single parent. She also had my younger brother. So it was like
a huge change,
a huge change. I knew my mom, my mom would come to Virginia when I was in Virginia, field trips and all this type of stuff, but I didn't know her as a person, if that makes sense.
Right.
So when I came up here, I had to get used to her ways, and she had to get used to my ways, and we often clashed.
Right.
I was really stressed out and depressed, but my mom wasn't really she wasn't aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
My mom herself was going through depression. I didn't really figure that out until I got older.
Wow.
And I started thinking back, okay, like, you know, her behaviors and stuff like that. So I don't blame her because she was going through depression herself as a single mom. But there was times where I wanted to talk to somebody. The only person I could talk to actually was my grandmother. I would call to my grandmother, and we would basically sit on the phone for hours and just talk about how I feel. And it wasn't really too much she could do, but I mean, in my family, we didn't really talk about mental health. And that's not a huge surprise because in the Black community, they really don't talk about mental health, only because most of it's a lack of knowledge. Like,
they say pray it off, too.
Yeah.
They'll tell you to go to church and pray to God about it, and that's it. When you probably should go get diagnosed because you have multiple personalities.
You know something's going on, and being so young, it's like it becomes a cycle. Like my mom was going into depression, I was in depression. Right. You know, it becomes a cycle, and that cycle can be broken.
Yep. Look, you broke it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. So now you won't tell your young Aspen that it's not okay to go to the therapist. He should go see one.
Right. It's okay. And I mean, raising a boy, that's another thing. It's this idea that they have to be tough and they shouldn't show their emotions. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not raising my son like that. I want you to tell me how you feel. I want you to express your feelings. Right. Because I care. And I don't want you to be out here, you know, how a lot of the young at-risk teens are just, you know, selling drugs. That's what they turn to because they don't have an outlet. All that can be prevented.
Yep, sure can. And then he can grow up and have a good communication skill thing going on with his spouse later down the line. Now, in your opinion, according to your expertise, what's the cause of some of the stigmas within the Black communities against mental health?
I say lack of knowledge.
That's a big one.
That's the biggest thing. I've have several run-ins with whether it's parents, Black parents, children. They just don't. That knowledge is not there. Right. There's this idea that if you go see somebody, if you mention mental health, that you're crazy. Like, you see a therapist, you're crazy. Right. And I'm like, why they got it? Where did that stem from? I'm still trying to figure out where that stemmed from. No one has really
me either. I'm going to find out.
I really don't understand that. Not only that, but it's this idea that when you're a child, there's nothing wrong with you. Oh, you're too young. You don't have anything to worry about.
That is facts.
You know? And that is not true at all. Being studying right now as a school counselor, I have learned that our children in the schools they have a lot of mental health problems. And most of it is emotional, like anxiety stuff. And the parents aren't really aware of it, or they're aware of it, but they're not paying attention.
Or they downplay it. Like, you'll be all right. Go suck it up.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with them, or stuff like that. I know I just had this conversation with a friend who she actually had went to her pediatrician about her son. She had mentioned that her son has anxiety, and the pediatrician basically was like, that he had ADHD. And I was like, they're so fast to push ADHD on a child. Like, a child can't have anxiety. A child can have anxiety. Yeah. Especially if they're young, as he was. I mean, your child usually feels your emotions. I know my son does. That's why I try not to, put those types of emotions on him. Like, if I'm feeling, if I'm worrying about something or whatnot, I try to, start using my coping mechanisms, and I try to get, that worry down. So children can have anxiety, just like adults need breaks. Yeah, children need breaks too.
I agree. I totally agree. All right. Now, in Maryland, what are some resources that are available for the youth as well as some adults?
So, one of the resources that is available in this area that I absolutely love is a nonprofit. It's my friend's. Her name is Amber Green. It's called Phoenix Youth Project. And their mission is encouraging youth to use their creative talent to impact social change. And I've seen this, like, what they do is amazing. They have something that is actually called youth and adult dialogues, which is used to help change the dynamic between youth and adults they interact with. So one of the examples that they had was, it was actually a local young lady that actually had committed suicide. Oh, wow. And so this really sparked like the community trying to figure out, you know, what happened and stuff like that. So she actually created one of these youth and adult dialogues to where like teens or whoever could come, children could come, and then adults come. So they basically wrote a question or something on a card, and during the dialogue, I believe it was the adults would read the kids, and they would have to. All of this is anonymous. Wow. So that would spark a conversation, because it's like, they don't know who it came from, and just gets them talking. That gets, you having a conversation with kids that usually don't talk. Right. That, they may feel like they can't talk to adults, or they can't talk to parents. So what I really love about this is it can be done anywhere. She's doing these in the schools. Wow. So the teachers and kids, she's done did this with parents and their kids.
That's awesome.
And it's really, I really see it coming along. I absolutely love it. Okay. Also, Life Crisis Center, they have a variety of help that they provide, including emergency shelter.
Oh, that's great.
They also, in the area, that have a facility called Community Behavioral Health. They offer counseling, as well as PRP and PHP programs for adult and children. Okay. And then, of course, a full list of resources would be on WacomicoHealth.org, and that's for Somerset, Wacomico, and Worcester County.
All right, y'all heard that. Make sure y'all go check that out. And shout out to Amber Green. She like one of my statuses on my DJ page.
Yeah, she is a truly amazing person. Like, I love what she's doing in this community right now.
Yeah,
in this
that's
area.
Amazing. All right. Now, I read an article in the Baltimore Sun that dated back to 2017, stating that Maryland was running out of space to facilitate mental health patients. Has there been a change since then, or?
Apparently there has not. I was just reading an article about this today. There has not been a change, and with the government shutdown, and I feel like mental health is always being put on the back burner. Yep. So with it being always put on the back burner, the funds, it's just like
they're gonna disappear.
Yeah, they're going to they're always gonna make up some type of excuse. Mm-hmm. What I actually read was the fact that those that are severely mentally ill, they're actually putting them in jail because they don't have beds for them. Yes. No. And when I read this, I was just like, what? Like, you're putting them in jail, like, with criminals.
They do not deserve to be there.
No. Wow. So I was reading about that, but of course, this has been a problem since way back. Right. Like, I learned about this in undergrad, actually, about the whole dynamics about them not wanting to fund things that dealing with mental health. Mm-hmm. And it's still, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. And the fact that they're putting severely mental ill patients in jails is just like, that shows you they don't care. They're not taking it seriously. I don't know what they're trying to cover up, but it's just like, it's sad. It really truly is a sad world that we live in today.
Maybe we can find some grant writers and maybe get a group of people together to write a grant. So, help
that would help definitely be awesome. Like, I'm always trying, being a millennial, I have constantly, ideas running in my head, and, so at times I'm just like, well, it's good enough, but I am truly a mental health advocate because of what I've gone through, what I constantly see, especially working in school with our kids, and, our kids are only going to grow up, and, I don't want to see them going through that. I mean, having a child of my own now, I'm going to do whatever I can to not allow him to go down that path, because, mental health is becoming more and more worse.
It is. I totally agree. Now, what are some coping skills that people can take away from today, from this interview, so they don't feel so stressed out and overwhelmed? Especially me, I have anxiety, so.
Okay. One of my favorite coping skills is actually journaling. And I know everybody doesn't like to write, but I really feel when I get really like overwhelmed and stressed out, I write everything down. Mm-hmm. And when I was depressed, I actually was I always held stuff in. Okay. So when I came to that point where I was like having those breakdowns, is because I was just holding it in so long.
Right.
So I actually started journaling, just journaling, like writing what was on my mind, and that helps a lot. You're just releasing everything, especially if you don't have somebody to talk to, because not everybody has someone to talk to.
Right.
So definitely journaling. Meditation specifically did not work for me, but I know some people that they love it.
Wow. I should check that out.
I have never found like the key to like really meditating, if that makes sense. I've been tried just about everything, and when I see people doing it, I'm just like, they look so relaxed, you know? So I really want to find out how I can get like that. So, journaling, meditation, talking to someone. In a ideal world, we all have that one friend we can go to and talk to, but not, like I said, not everybody has that friend.
Right.
What else? Just learning to walk away. And when I say walk away, sometimes there's times in our lives where we just need a break. We need a break. So if that's if you're at work and you're getting overwhelmed, you're getting stressed out, just get up and walk away. Like, take a break and take a breather. There's nothing wrong with it. There's plenty of times where I'm at work and I need that. If you're in a relationship and you're just, you're hashing it out and you're just feeling, some stress coming on, some anxiety, walk away, take a break, and because it's really not,
it's not worth your sanity. I totally agree.
It's not at all. Counting. I've seen counting backwards work for some people. Like, yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna try that.
Oh my God. Counting backwards works for some people. And I mean, these are coping skills that can work for children as well as adults.
Okay.
So especially the counting can definitely work for children.
What about Rubik's cubes and stuff like that? Is that a coping mechanism?
It is. Especially for children. For me, I would I
would get more frustrated and
exactly. Exactly. It definitely can be a coping mechanism. But I feel like a lot of stuff that we think could not be a coping mechanism, it can, especially if you that's why it's so important to be like in tune with yourself.
Right.
Know what calms you down, know what overwhelms you.
I totally agree.
So that's why I say when I feel my body knows, like I know the signs to where I'm beginning to get stressed. So I know to back up, like, okay, start my coping skills. So.
Okay, cool. Now, before you go, you got to give my listeners, I guess your top 3 songs to jam out to for this Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is coming up.
It is.
So what are your top 3 songs?
My top 3 songs, they're older songs. But I've always loved Keisha Cole's song, Heaven Sent. Always.
Oh, I haven't heard that in forever.
Loved it.
Okay.
There's something about that song every time I listen to it. It's just, I don't know. I love it.
I'm going to listen to that when I leave today.
Ed Sheeran's song, Thinking Out Loud. I love that song.
Oh, that's a great song, too.
I love that song.
I see you.
I absolutely love that song. And then I have Christina Perri, 1,000 Years.
Okay. So. All right. Do I know that song? I don't know if I know that.
I'm pretty sure if you heard it, they've been played it in so many movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably have.
Yeah, I absolutely love that song, so...
Okay, cool. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on my show today.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime.
I want to come back.
Cool.
I can get used to this.
Cool. All right. Thank you. It's your girl, DJ Reese, and I'm out.